as well as Order, a very, very capable composition of their own. RDW sitting back on that chamber, and it's already going to be action, Komodo, as they move straight into sewers.
And look at this, there's a lobby set up from Paper X right now. The shock dart's in, and Ronski's going to be taken down by Forsaken. Need to be careful because there's still more players here, but Divide takes out Maple, and now the overwhelming on towards Disco, but he's able to get one in return in toward the Cloudburst. The trades are still coming forward. Paper X holding firm, holding true, and now it's just down to RDW, but he is disconnected from the action.
This is such a Valorant round. Already the round basically done in itself. Straight up towards B will be Paper X, and whilst we do see RDW get the ultimate point, it was a little bit shaky there for Order. A couple of missed shots, but very, very firm focus from Paper X. Looking to take that fight immediately. RDW, great shot onto Jing. Not done just yet, but he's got a lot more to find here.
Oh, the RDW 1 versus 4. There is a world in which this can come through. Devi is down low, but it's Mindfreak and Benkai with the crossfire coming in towards the site right now. Devi playing passive toward the spawn, and RDW is revealing himself in dark cover, keeping him at bay. A little bit of a peek out. Ooh. Some damage on towards Mindfreak, but the time's ticking away, and it's a bit too much for him. Benkai too close, and the pistol goes to Paper X.
Selection. I like that. We've seen him do some things back home, but it's such a challenge to be fighting up against the great in Paper X, and that's Ronski. That is going to be an item of punishment, and if Paper X can continue to do it, it's going to make it awkward. Now Jing getting another, and all of a sudden it's a 3-on-5, but Texas here, Komodo.
And Disco as well, putting in the flashpoint to see what he can do to deter Paper X's forces, and it looks like they're happy enough to retreat on back. Do note that Forsaken wanted to get that Sea Orb to get the Blade Storm out, but the fact that Jin has been taken down means the purchase is, or the weapon rather, has been taken into his hands, so they don't need to force out for the Orb, but keep an eye on Benkai. He's going to be the one lurking around B to hold things down, but the lineup for RDW nearly comes true, doesn't it? Only for the one, as we equal 3-3, and it still does look like Paper X a game for this A site.
Well, this is where Texter is so good, right? You know, look at all of the control that he's managed to find. Sure, there's still the tripwire down. The camera is there as well. But RDW, he's been spotted, and Forsaken is hungry, looking for the fight. But Disco does manage to get the fault line down, punishes Devi. And now it is a very awkward one here. Forsaken, very low, knows RDW's here. But look at the flank being held by Disco. So aware, so ready. But at the exact same time, it's meant that he's overlooked it. But the positioning of Texter, he is all the way up long here, Komodo, and he's found the spike. It is down. It is awkward. But now they're giving it to him here. Forsaken managing to find another, utilizing the updraft to get to top. And he's also picked up the spike, can get it planted. He's got enough time to actually run away, but he's going to sit to hold it. He's going to try and do this one. Texter gets the stutter step, and now it's into the 1-on-1. But Forsaken, he's made it out. How does he find this? Looking to fight that duel, Komodo.
The dark cover is available for Texter as well, but Forsaken, 50 HP, holding the line. The smoke is on, and that's going to give Forsaken the time to relocate. He might be able to find the angle right now. Oh, it's so dicey. It's so tricky, but I think Forsaken might have just found the right timing. The barrel was spotted, and Texter right back into the smoke, but it's going to be to the death, and Paper X does mean he can juggle over a weapon to his teammates. So it's still looking okay for Order into this new round, but immediately it's a bit of the prowess over at A long and A sewers again. Ronski's already up. Texter's been taken out in the courtyard, and it does make things more awkward. A missed shot from the tour de force, and this should be all the information that Paper X need to know that the C site is essentially unmaintained at the moment from Order.
Yeah, straight in as well. RDW has managed to drop on in. Will he get the lineup? There's one. You know how quick this tour de force is as well, so he's already pinched them in slightly. Looks like Forsaken does want to take the fight, but look at how nervous they all are right now. Cloudburst, or Cypher Cage rather, goes down. Forsaken will be able to hop along. Mindfreak very low, but it's still going to be a tough 4-on-4 here. As look at this lurk. It's going to be the info though. The guiding light gets it. Now they have that news, and that's going to be the Rolling Thunder coming through as well. But Forsaken, here we go. 1, 2, and almost the third, and it's all down to Maple. It looks like Forsaken's even going to get the damage to the wall as well. Paper X are looking absolutely monolithical right now.
Yeah, that's clinical to come through from them as well, realizing that the fact that the Seaside players are no longer out there. They saw the info over towards A-Long and Sewers. Texter's being taken down over in mid meant that it's an open Seaside. They get that plant, and then they're expecting the retake. They know what utility is available from Order. They know that the Rolling Thunder is expected, which is why they're trying to bail themselves out from the site, and then it's just
going to be really blades. The rest of the team might be an eco into the next if they're unsuccessful.
Guiding light to A lobby for the information. Do note as well that Mindfreak and Forsaken. There we go. That's the number. That's the name that I was wanting to find. Do have cash for the next round as well, so we can still see a purchase for Paper X if they want to go for it. But Ronski, the tailwind is going to be inaccessible now. The player hasn't spotted him. Oh, this could be big right now if he starts to creep up. There isn't an actual onlooker at the moment toward it. Remember, Order do have this stack over towards the A site. That's the spike, and Ronski, he's just going to be able to Houdini out of this one. A brilliant opener for Order.
Can't believe they didn't clear that. Such an awkward sort of situation. I guess you're always going to miss your corners occasionally, but now the Seekers, they go out. Ronski, there's another. That's a third as well. Big Ronski. We know how good he is at this game, Komodo. A 4K already. We're 7 rounds in, my friend. It's just like the previous opening game. Did manage to get the ace, rather, in the pistol. Against Oasis. It is still morning for me, by the way. Elfish guy will love that one. It was that curse going, you know, do we support the Singaporean boys or do we try and chase back and run it with the Aussies? You know, it's a very, very important little duo for us here.
What information Conky can Maple find on the back of this dark cover? Paper Rex, they're already here and silently so. The sacrifice of using that dart earlier on, but now as far as order's concerned, information is nigh. Benkai's doing a lurk over towards the garage. Still over towards this kind of 1-1-3 lean towards the A site. Really seeing if there's going to be any overstep from Order. The trademark's set up in garage at the moment. So really is down to what information Order can get over towards this A site. They do have the numbers here to start to get the contest. It's going to have to happen now.
Going to keep him at bay. Actually big, very, very big. Disco does manage to afford himself the trade. Ronski, though, forsaken. It's a very back and forth round again here, Komodo, as Benkai waits on the lurk once more. Spike dropped, though. Spike dropped.
30 seconds left.
Covered? No, it's still sitting down.
Got to remember, From the Shadows is open available, so he's going to try and make creeps over towards the C site and TP back over.
Yeah, he's going for it now. So RDW is going to absolutely have to be ready for this one right now. There it is. Spike collected. RDW now has the info. Is he going to be able to hit the flicky wheel? The tour de force gets the job done. Not a cyclist here. He's a sniper, Komodo. Peeking around up close. It is the thing about that scope weapon, but Mind Freak does get the trade. It's now back into this 2v2 situation. Spike does get done, but Benkai gets another. Now Disco, he knows exactly where this jewel is. He can try and get into the position as quickly as possible over to the top of the site. Maybe he can get it to half. Maybe he can switch it to half right now. Komodo, but no, it'll be Mind Freak to get the job
through the
done.
single box on the C side that baited him in. A tap on the Spike as well. RDW, a little bit of a rough one, and now we move into the last round of this half. Jing's going to catch Ronski with the tailwind to try and escape, and through the vision blocking, it's all happening, isn't it? This round is way too bloody quick to contest right now. Benkai in for 2 after RDWs, and the round is just going to be done just like that. 8-4 over towards Paper Rex.
Find your way to sort of that grand final of the playoffs, Komodo.
Well, here we go. Pistol round again. The first was found by Paper Rex and closing out the half, so this is going to be Order's time to get back in toward it. And on the attackers' side of Haven, they're not wanting to have any feelers over towards that A side at the moment where the trap of the Cypher of Benkai is going to be. But look at this already. Forsaken.
Jet diff.
He's taken out the member that we're mentioning. Ronski is down. It is an open B site, however, for Order to try and get in toward.
Forsaken has really been showing up, showing how impressive he is as a player. Will he get another? He's close to it. Does get traded, but he does find Maple in the process. RDW, not far behind. Do have text up, getting all of the information. He might actually be able to blind up too here, Komodo with his paranoia. They do get tagged up, and he gets the info, but he's actually damaged more in the process. Disco does get one back. 3 versus 3. How are they going to lock this in?
It's mind games right now, and Mind Freak might be doing the damage with this one. RDW taken on out, and this is a flank potential. There's so many angles for Texter and Disco to consider, but Texter, he's missed a couple of shots with the classic, and now it's on to Disco. 1, maybe 2. It's not going to come through. The little line of sight, he does get taken down, and that means that Paper Rex are going to be picking up their second pistol.
You saw it happening right there. Disco with the 3K, and there was barely any time, but the gentle
on the flip side,
trail.
Right? They've got a couple of Spectres. They've got that one Vandal that can definitely be the hero weapon if Jing's going to be able to come through. And again, the premise of this round really is for Order to kind of hold firm and hold true.
The big telltale is how, you know, they'll actually push this round forward. It is their attacker's side for them, and it's their best side. There we go. Ronski does get the opening. Mind Freak taken. Maple another, but again, it's just the bonus. It's going to be on how much Paper X can find, how much damage they can do. My God, it's been like a, you know, clay pigeon shooting here for some of these moments onto Forsaken. Jing does get a response, though, and that should be a Vandal that might be achievable. Spike dropped, only just realizing Texter a long way away from the shadows. At least Ronski does get the vibe, but it's going to be a big one. Jing does have that full vision. Dark cover goes down, but there's a narrow gap in it. Texter might have pushed that one a little bit too far forward. There's the info. There's the damage, but Maple gets the trade. We can breathe a sigh of relief. We've got a team that can actually play around, you know. The experience of Texter alone, back from Majors in Counter-Strike, you know, and also RDW and Maple from that, Disco and Maple, rather, from that also history.
You got to remember, everybody on Order has a Counter-Strike history, but coming in towards Valorant, they've made it to each of their own. And for right now, it's Jing trying to see if he can get the ding in towards this round. A 1-on-1 trade as the spike is trying to go down eventually. But you're still going to have to contest with Dubai over at that A side. Disco taking out Benkai does mean we've got 1 minute and 10 on the clock. And a very large gap on this defensive side that can be exploited. Everything is on Mindfreak at this C site right now, and he's playing at the logs. If they overlook him, it could be crucial. Paramount for Paper Rex in this round. And RDW hasn't cleared it. Now a second maybe on the trot, and it is as well a third. Mindfreak going absolutely nuclear in this round to hold it through for Paper Rex. And it's just onto Maple. You know, the time, I thought it was going to be the settle down for Order, but they decided to go hard and fast.
There was no way that should have happened. Mindfreak lurking. Gets the job done. Should be way too challenging for Maple to try and find this as possible. That'll be the confidence booster for them. You know, we go into Bind, obviously still a very, very strong map for Order as well. But we know how good Paper X is. All of their experience over in Iceland at the Masters. And Kai does have the cam over the top. Should be able to gather information shortly. But Order just backed up against the wall right now, waiting to see what Paper X are going to throw out at them.
Yeah, Maple's 1 away from the Seekers, the Disco 2 from the Rolling Thunder. If they can get a hold of those ultimates, it will be really big to try and get things back. But reposition ability from Mindfreak, having from the shadows. Benkai information on not only his spy cam right now, but also the neural theft if he's able to find a pick. It could be, you know, one of those decisive blows to secure this map out for Paper X. And it's just a reposition from the operator of Forsaken as well. Lurking in the garage, going to be smoked on through. So he's going to have to chug his engine over towards C. As the little creep up comes through from Order. It's already looking like this is maybe a retake on the C site. A reposition again from Forsaken as the fault line comes in. And look at this from Benkai. He hasn't revealed the camera. This is everything at the moment. And he's so close to where the position is as well.
They're stacked up. Ready to rock.
30 seconds left.
In that focus. The only thing is, oh, look at that. The bait and switch. Hasn't peeked for it. Cage now down. Wonder if Maple's going to know. Is he going to have that information? Absolutely not. Now, Jing also ready to take Ronsky. This is a huge moment here for Paper X. 15 seconds left. Dexter does manage to drop Mindfreak. Now, do they have enough time to get this spike planted? They have to go A. They have to go A right now, and Tex has been taken. They don't even know where they're going right now. It's going to be all on the Disco. But 4-3, no time. No time at all. Nice. Forsaken, he is going to myself. How long ago was VOT now? You know, it was probably about a month since we last got to see this team actually in an official. And yeah, it was prior to Fade. Obviously, Maple now picking up that one. It's a great counter to the Viper of Benkai. So will we see it happen? We'll have to find out. But speaking of Fade, it will be Maple to open up very, very early. Disco gets another. So it is a strong 3-on-3. Disco made his way straight through the teleporter. Does have a bit of a look over towards Mindfreak. But as that spike does get locked into the U-Haul position, the rest of Order is ready here to fight it back.
Disco is stuck in the map teleporter at the moment, and Mindfreak is just going to be a thorn in his side to try and get the escape, but that spike has trickled over toward the other side of the map. It's a great frag out from Maple, actually. That's allowing Disco to come through, but they didn't check the teleporter. Benkai had stayed, and that's going to get the better of them. The Roomba will be destroyed, so no damage is delivered, and now Disco was already tagged up a little bit earlier on. They know that that damage is done, and for a team like Paper X, they don't necessarily need to be taking this fight. They know where Disco is, and they're just going to play on the back of a crossfire in the hookah.
Benkai just can't be killed, it feels like at this point in time. You know, sitting inside the teleporter, getting a couple up. Now they're both happy to wait for the hookah. Great crossfire, great team synergy, and Benkai will lock it out.
Different orders in Ronsky's regard are going to be coming through from the change of kits. But right now, we've got a gun round, so I guess this is the first attempt to kind of see that, right?
Absolutely. And there it is, opening up nicely, just as with the usual. The biggest thing about Ronsky being, you know, I guess to a degree of a one-trick right on this jet is that how much he uses the kit. I guess with the satchels, you know, a little bit of a few similarities on the Raze side, but definitely played in a completely different way. So that will be the telltale. You know, every single agent can do the shoot, but how effectively is their you know, utility around it? And as we continue to talk about this, Ronsky does get a couple. So we are that's where he's going to develop the most as a player, though, I think, Komodo. You know, utilizing different agents as the meta shifts over time.
Well, the biggest thing is this is actually his first showing of Raze in a competitive map, so it's the biggest thing. You know, we've seen him on Chamber once. We've seen him mainly on that Jet. But for right now, you know, he's getting some things happening. But this round ain't done just yet because there's a plant in for Paper Rex and Mindfreak and Forsaken. They're getting some damage out. This is looking a little bit costly right now. Disco and Ronski try and get it back. And there's no assistance on this utility for Disco. Ronski jumping out of the hookah. He's got no util either. Forsaken low. Everybody low except for Ronski. And he needs to be the one to cut the closer. And he will indeed. 3 on the board for him in this round. A defuse out. And as far as Paper Rex are considered, a plant, 3 kills in the bonus. Yeah, pretty happy.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's definitely another round, but this step over towards Asia, like where they can actually practice teams that are going to take it seriously and really look to develop, is an awesome thing for them. And I expect we'll see more boot camps and more competition sort of statistics from them in the future, as we hope to see more opportunity come out for Oceania as well, and APAC as a whole. But we will prove that as we did get to see Zeta and Paper X do, and also DRX do at Masters.
Well, Tex has just revealed that he's got a judge in the hookah with the destruction of the boombot. So I do wonder how Paper X are going to attack this differently now. Another Sky Smoke to go down from him. I do note that Disco is on the B side by himself with the rotation only now starting to happen from Maple at the minute mark. Remember, bind access to the teleporter, but it's going to be Jing sending it in towards this B site with the showstopper. His sensitivity is very, very quick, and he's going to miss out on the shot. Ronski's been taken out in the meanwhile, and the access to the B site is here from Paper X, but it's Texter and Disco getting a couple of trades. But it is coming up, Paper X in this round, all down. So RDW 1 versus 3 with an operator, and do you just have that gun going into the next round? Do you take that as your prize?
No cash in the bank at all. It will be an eco into the next device, so very low, but you know, when it's that operator, it always makes it hard to clear those angles. And one thing that we've seen Paper X do so fantastically has been tripling up. You know, happy to sort of slot in, watch those angles, get the crossfires secured. And RDW is moving his way out, knows exactly where the spike is now. And Kite, happy to watch that flank. The haunt goes out, and RDW does get missed by it, but now that's the call. Definitely looks like he's keen to boogie out of there, take the operator into the next round. But I think Mindfreak actually might be able to watch this cross. It's going to be the timing game. RDW... Okay, he's fine. Should be able to get away from the Radianite explosion here as well. Happy to move it. So another massive play there from Paper X. Again, it's just their synergy that closes the site. Endpoint to HP side lap. Texas orbital strike, but the one thing is, Texter, you know, given how experienced he is as a player, like, he's not going to be happy with that, how much work he had to do. A low Brimstone inside U-Ball to have to find 2 with his back up against the wall against the eco is a frustrating item.
Absolutely. And now the Prowler got a bit of information through toward the showers. The Roomba's going to be clearing it on through. The flick misses for Forsaken. So for Ronski, he's not going to get out of dodge with his Shuttles just yet. He's just going to reposition in toward the cubby in front of this toxic screen. Remember, it is just this kind of eco round to come through from Paper X. They've got a couple of light shields on the back of it. The Haunt, however, for now, is going to be baiting out Maple, and he's going to be taking this duel to fall on back. It's a bit of forward play within the site from Order, but it's, you know, I was going to say play that they can afford to risk, but maybe not. Maple taken down, a gun accessible. Next round isn't over just yet for Paper X. They're already pushing into the site. Jing, he needs to go nuclear here to be able to win this, but Ronski is still lurking about. The paint does give away position right now, and he's traded out by Jing, doing absolutely everything in this round. The showstopper available as well, and it is a player advantage for Paper X, looking for the post plane.
The individuals of Paper X stepping up to the plate. This time it wasn't really even Order overstepping their bounds. It was, you know, purely a thing of how well can they move. Mindfreak gets the catch. That's a great utilization of the teleporter. They weren't sure if it was a fake. They weren't sure how it was sort of looking. And unfortunately, RDW is left alone on the island again in a 1 versus 3. Once again, you know, we know Jing is on for a massive round here, sitting at the elbow. Great shot from Artie, but the trade can come in. Jing with the 4K. Take a bow, my friend.
Triple was able to find that frag later on towards Disco, essentially locking in the round. So some really big plays to come out from Jing, from Mindfreak in that round. And Paper X, they will reclaim the lead. And like you say, you know, economy isn't really balanced out for really anyone in this server at the moment, except for Mindfreak and Forsaken. So this is going to be one of those crucial rounds to balance it on through. The Nightfall is here, but the showstopper as well. Ronski, he needs at least 2. He needs both, but he's only going to get 1 in the trade. At least the Nightfall does lock Paper X back for the time being.
Yeah.
They can't go with it. Showstopper, Ronski showers. Very dangerous.
Yeah, all invested in that Nightfall there from Devi, rather trying to take full control. So at least it is traded out, ultimate for ultimate. Saken still keeping the sight over towards U-Haul. Maple keen to go for a walk. Maybe they find the timing. If he clears it right, he's going to tuck into the corner instead. Shoulder step makes the sound. Forsaken Just trying to keep this full info in. The rest of the members do start their creep over towards the B position. Maple gets it, but Disco now has to try and find something as well. Does have his guiding light, does have the regrowth. Horn will be taken, but he's got to be careful now. He's really got to be careful now. Dexter opens up with another. There we go, the double up. This is the team synergy that you're hoping for now, Jing. 1v2, 1v1 make it. Locking down Texter, Maple, yeah, exactly right, Komodo. It's all left onto Artie. He's made the teleporter sound, and now Jing knows exactly where he can go. Has to plant inside the pipe, but how will Artie find this fight?
Oh, 1 versus 1 on the showstopper.
No way!
He doesn't get the shot. The rocket for Jing, a 4K. You really got to feel
this matchup. And whilst right now it's looking like it could potentially be order, they still have plenty of opportunity in this map to get it done.
Oh, it's some aggression from Ronski sitting in the toxic screen. Paint shells through and a satchel to bop anyone back who might be close. Bit more of a passive start to the round, however. RDW on the line at long. That's going to be Jing taken down. If there's anyone that you wanted to eliminate first on this attacker squad, it would be Jing. Really leading the charge of the entries for Paper Rex, but this is some ambition from Ronski. A bit of risk, and it might not be calculated quite correctly. Maple at the same light, taken down in the showers, and now this is really difficult for Order. It's numbers for Paper Rex, but it's one from Ronski to Satchel to try and get him out of it, and he will indeed. 2 locking down the short position. He's got the spike as well, but Mindfreak and Forsaken are still here for this 2 versus 4 comeback. Yeah,
Forsaken in a really solid position here, but will he spot anything? Disco gathered all of it, absolutely all of it. There's one, spots one in heaven. Disco though, he's at least ready for Mindfreak, does get it, but here we go. Forsaken, 1 versus 2. Down to the 1-on-1, already finding 3. So awkward, utilizing that rendezvous to get out of there. It's Chamber versus
IW
Chamber.
thinks it's going to be.
He does, yeah, he does.
There's 1 versus 3 for Forsaken. Couple of quick shots in the mix. And this is just a little bit of the gamble effect for RDW that doesn't pay off really. A lot of time for Forsaken, and now he has an open plant wherever he wants it. It's going to be going down to triple. Does he choose to play through toward the showers? His rendezvous will have a little bit of extra time to get back. He actually already has it available. But RDW on this line with the operator. How long does he choose to sit here and lurk? Shots coming through. If he misses the first one, that would be big. And Forsaken, he's seen a leg, but he's allocated his crosshair elsewhere. Forsaken, what a massive round.
I want this to go to 3 maps. I want this to be tight. This needs to be the future battle of 2 of the Oceanic and APAC region's finest.
There's 4 ultimates technically available for both of these sides, with Devi being 1 away from the Nightfall, and it will be massive to get into water. But Jing, he's going to be taken down by Maple in the hookah. Ronski's showstopper is going to be on the wrong side of the map, so there's so much pressure on Disco to hold something down in the lamps, and his lights are going to be shut out, unfortunately, for Benkai. He can get this pit up. We haven't seen it just yet on this half, and all of the ultimates are going to start to be coming on through. The plant is here, at least for Paper Rex. How are they going to hold this one?
The Nightfall's massive as well. That's going to give away so much information, but it is traded back as well. Texter also marked here, so it's going to be awkward. Forsaken does get caught, and this is going to be a big, scrappy battle. Can they find this man in Benkai inside the U-Haul, inside the pit? The snake will strike already. Now, one moment here. Maple does drop it. That's huge. Devi, can he continue to hold this position? They've locked him into U-Haul. Devi, though, continues to fight on this fade. Texter, shouldered, spotted, info gathered. Devi continuing to do it, and now it's all left onto RDW, who has the quick scope, but Devi has his number, and Paper X,
we're from 8.
They'll find 8 here
involved in this area, and if we can get teams from here to showcase on the Masters, showcase on the global scale, it's going to be huge. But for right now, we got a pistol round here. RDW is going to be dispatching of Forsaken for the first part, and in toward the lamps as well. He's going to get in towards Benkai, but if he misses the shot, he doesn't. He gets that one. 2 in the board, and a plant looking to happen at A.
This is a series for me where both teams, I want them to win so much. So will it be one of those things where whoever has the most fun is the real victor? We'll have to find out. But too strong for RDW. I like the little trade-off, getting the Headhunter and the Shorty now. Yeah, a little bit rough there at the distance, the Frenzy. Maple does find Mindfreak, and now Devi having to try and fight off that Prowler there.
This is just time taking away from the spike right now. Maple knows it. If he can keep one of the members here in Devi, he'll be really, really well placed to just secure out this round. Now they know where the other member is because of the guiding light. Jing is stuck in short. He's not going to be able to use his rumor here to escape him from the position. But, I mean, damage attempted, but denied. Texas too close. And the pistol
kind of just even
is the
played
first
that
one.
mental game, right? Damage him down. Full investment, yeah. They're not playing around at all. Only Maple being the one to kind of hold on to a little bit extra. Ronski's actually gone for the judge, which I like. That means he wants to have these very, very early fighting towards U-Haul. There is nobody home, but there he goes flying in. They've got that info now that the satchels have been utilized, and he can lock straight into the U-Haul position here. So the two remaining members of Paper X, they're going to be stuffed over to the right side of the site. And with those sky smokes down, the spike plant will be afforded. No, not quite.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the pain shells. The utility from Paper Rex would be really big for them to use in this round, and a couple of damages are being seen from them. They're still holding onto this player advantage right now, and there needs to be another frag, I feel, for Order before they go for this plant right now. But it's Mindfreak just absolutely beaming heads, and Forsaken to get the closer with that glass cannon that I made mention of a little bit.
Try to pull the teleport up. So it's an investment. Maple playing that hero rifle. Forsaken, though, going to take down Ronski early. Benkai also dropping RDW. So once again, you know, it's Paper X really kind of playing into their confidence. Text is spotted out by the Prowler. They are going to try and fight out mid.
Oh, well, they're just sending it right now. Paper X, full confidence. You'll love to see it from Jing. This is exactly how you want to be utilizing a raise kit, just taking space. Honestly, getting in towards their face with time in this map for Order. They have to be taking this one.
I think so. But again, you know, it's just that continued narrative of us talking about how much Paper X are playing well as a team. They're all mates. They're all having a good time. They're happy to be here. They know that they're the favorites, and they're not allowing that to put the pressure on them. Great quick scope there from Forsaken, even though he's sort of back up against the wall there. That's Ronski taken down. And again, a very, very impactful member of Order hitting the dirt early. So they're going to have to play from this disadvantage once more. And Paper X are, you know, happy to keep their rotations. They don't need to overextend. They are going to be sending Forsaken back, but now Texter, as he tries to move into the bathroom here, he is one away from that orbital strike, but he's going to be walking straight into Jing here. Again, it's another 1v1 being lost. Forsaken doing exactly that. Onto Disco. RDW with that tour de force does get the trade, but Jing, he's even walking out knife out, and he still managed to get it. RDW gets the trade, but Benkai is there to do the exact same thing.
Screen. You got to remember, your gun barrel is seen first for your opponent on the other side, so it was a really easy frag to figure out in the showers just there. A bait and switch with the rendezvous out through the TP, but finally, it is an opener to come the way of Order. Has collateraled Jing and Benkai in the showers. Give them a little bit of a rinse in this round, but it isn't just over right yet. A 2 versus 2 scenario. The spike is in the possession of Order, so it didn't get dropped at that situation, but they're booking it over towards B. And remember, Forsaken, he can cut them off through this teleporter. There it is. There's the one. He spotted out RDW as well, and he's not trying to try and find the isolated duel just yet. I like this from Paper X. They're going to be grouping up together, going as a unit, and everything is on RDW right now. And Conky, he doesn't have a gun. He's got a headhunter only.
That's it. He is going for the long con, which I like. This is a very bold play, but look at the position here. He's how are you ready for that, Forsaken? So aware, so on top of it, and he does manage to close.
Big Brimstone.
I love that. Yeah.
Well, speaking about it, that's Mindfreak at the moment, overlooking everything in this server. Has had some absolutely phenomenal plays. Everybody on Paper X has had some absolutely phenomenal plays. You know,
stuff again from Paper X. They are really showing it. I love your narrative about how every single member has had their individual moments. And they've all really stepped up. You know, back to Benkai and some of those clutches in the previous. Forsaken looking nuts. But I think I'll have to talk stories a little bit later because it's Forsaken somehow again denying Disco on the entry. The Nightfall's being utilized. They have this info, and now the Seas will go down. But I don't even think that it is going to be throwing Forsaken out at all. They're stuck in the showers and they're just having to run out of there. Forsaken's looking even for the peak. Will he get something else? Oh, just around the corner. 3 on 5.
The confidence for him to run through Jing's paint shells because he knows team damage isn't as deadly as opponent's damage. And the little shot out from the toy gun of that Phantom is going to be given off the Jig right now. RDW at least good for 1. Make it a second. This is still a kind of workable scenario. He's on the line right now, Conky, but is it just going to be that one and done? They're holding each other's hands. They're on 4. He misses it. He splits the gap right now through the wickets. Actually did find Benkai, so I take my words back. But the penultimate question right now for Order. It's Texter versus Mindfreak. It's the battle of the Brims. Who comes on top?
Who will be the ultimate Brimstone Chad player here? Mindfreak has been playing absolutely fantastically. Now, Texter, the Glycogen Master himself.
Well, if he hears the TP, he's going back to A.
He's gone back.
This is
Mindfreak's going to be ready.
Yep. Oh, but does Mindfreak choose the timing to go through the teleporter? He can hear the spike plan. He's expecting him through showers. The footsteps, the allocation. Mindfreak, he's going to be catching Texter. Not ready whatsoever. There's the shot. The GG's come in the chat. It's 13-6 over towards Paper X. And just before I throw it over towards you again here, I've got to say, man, that was thoroughly